Let me do a couple extra examples. Again, this has always been a tricky one, so I'm going to kind of keep going with this. So the idea is to complete the square, or at least check completing the square. We notice that half of this would be negative 3. Negative 3 squared would be 9. So this currently is not in completed the square form. So what we're going to do is we're going to create a perfect square. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a little space, like I like to, move the 7 to the other side. And I realize that half of negative 3 is 6, sorry, negative 6 is negative 3, and squared would be to place the 9 into these two locations. And in doing so, what that does is it provides an opportunity for us to then complete the square. So let's do that now. Let's complete this square. So this would be x minus 3 all squared, and this would be equal to 2. And now I'm ready to proceed with the normal strategies that we do, plus or minus this, and we get x minus 3 equals plus or minus the square root of 2, and our answer is 3 plus or minus the square root of 2. Again, a very nice way to solve a problem that typically would be tricky another way. Let me do another one. Now right away this one seems complex because of this 5/4. Actually, you'll see that'll kind of help us out in a minute. What makes this one tricky is that our term here in the middle is odd. So to complete the square, you'd need to do 5 halves and square it to put it into that position. And we're going to do just that. So let's show you how to do it. So again, I'm going to leave my 5x on this side. I'm going to leave myself a little space, throw my negative 4/5 on the other, and leave a little space. Half of 5 is 5 halves, and 5 halves squared is 25/4. So I'm going to add 25/4 to both sides. And the good news is when I do that, I get x squared plus 5 halves all squared. Actually, I don't put that little squared there. Let me just fix that here. Get rid of this little guy. It should look like that. And then equals, on this side, we get 20/4. Now the good news, that simplifies to be 5. So now, when we go from here to solve, we take the square root of both sides, plus or minus. And if we continue that, that just gives us x plus, and 5 halves is just 2.5, so I'm going to convert that at this stage, plus or minus 5. And our final answer would be negative 2.5 plus or minus the square root of 5. Definitely more difficult, but again, if you follow a pattern, it reveals itself.